Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be on the ride or die tag, because ever since Jacqueline created the challenge and I saw her video, I was like, oh my god, it looks so fun, I want to try it. And she basically tagged anyone who wanted to do it. So here I am filming this video for you guys, and I'm super excited to share with you guys my ride or die makeup products. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The first category is primer, and primer is a really important step before you apply your foundation. And I'm pretty sure you guys know what primer is my favorite if you guys have been a subscriber of mine ever since I started my channel. My favorite primer is a Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer in the mattifying base, and oh my god, like I love this primer so much. I just can't live without it, and as you guys can see, it's like super flat already, so I'm gonna have to go buy a new one. But it's just amazing at controlling my oils. It makes my foundation last throughout the whole day, and I just can't get enough of this. I've actually tried other primers and none of them compared to this one. This is just my everything. This is my baby. It has my heart. So now for foundation, it was kind of hard to pick just one foundation because I have so many great ones in my collection, but I kind of thought about it. I would be okay with wearing this foundation for the rest of my life, and it's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and I do have mine in the shade 2W2 Rattan, just in case you guys were curious. But I just love this foundation. It's so beautiful on the skin. Every time I wear this, it just makes me look flawless, and I actually get compliments on how my skin looks. I just love how long lasting it is, especially through humidity and in the summer. If you're sweating, this is definitely gonna last. It literally stays in place from the moment I apply it in the morning till at night when I take it off. It's just amazing. And like I said, I'm definitely okay with just wearing this foundation for the rest of my life. So this is definitely my ride or die foundation. So now for my favorite concealer, I would have to go for the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. And I have mine in the shade light medium. This is by far one of the best concealers I've tried in the longest time. This concealer is just amazing, like straight out amazing. It blends out so seamlessly and flawlessly underneath the eyes. It's perfect to highlight, to conceal under eye circles, to cover any acne marks or just any acne that you might have. And I seriously don't see myself using any other concealer if I were to be stuck in an island. This is just amazing, and it's so beautiful on the skin. So definitely the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. So now for face powder, I feel like I've been using this every time in my tutorials, but it's just because it's that good, and it's definitely for sure my ride or die. And it's the NYX HD Finishing Powder in the shade Banana. So as you guys can see, I've already hit pan because it's just that's amazing. I love this to set to my face or to touch up throughout the day. It's just perfect to get rid of the shine and just to set your face, so my foundation could just last throughout the whole day, especially when I'm using a dewy foundation. This is just perfect. The next category is under eye setting powder, and I really didn't have to think about this one. If you tell me what's your must-have under eye setting powder, I would have to say the Mercier translucent setting powder. This is by far my favorite and only setting powder I like to use underneath my eyes. But this is basically all I use to set my under eyes, especially when I want to bake or cook. This is such an amazing powder. It is translucent, so it doesn't have a color, and when I wear this, I don't really get a flashback if I'm gonna be taking flash photography. It's just so beautiful. It's really finely milled. I know there are other translucent setting powders, but for some reason I always have to go for this one. I haven't really tried any other loose powders. I know Kat Von D just came out with one. Other brands have other loose powders, but I just love and need my Mercier powder in my life. My ride or die blush definitely has to be the Urban Decay blush in Video, and this is seriously and will always be my ride or die blush because it's just so beautiful. As you guys can see, it's the type of blush that literally goes with any look that you make, no matter if it's natural or dramatic. This blush is definitely gonna look so beautiful, and I love it because it's so pigmented and it lasts. I'm telling you guys, it lasts the whole day. So this is how Video looks. It's a pretty like pinky nude type of blush. It's not super intense, and I'm the type of girl that loves blushes like these. I don't really like putting like hot pink blush or just like super bright blushes. I kind of try to stay away from. This is one of the blushes that I can build up and it's not gonna look bad because it just looks super beautiful. It gives you those beautiful like rosy cheeks, and I just love it. And I know that with this blush I can't go wrong, so obviously it's my ride or die. Bronzer, I have the Too Faced Chocolate Solei. This is in the shade medium and deep, so it is a matte bronzer, and it smells so good. It smells like chocolate, which is obviously a plus. Who doesn't want to be applying bronzer and smelling like chocolate? I've actually had this bronzer for such a long time. It was actually one of the first bronzers I ever bought. I do have other bronzers in my collection, but for some reason I just prefer this one because it's not too warm, which is perfect to warm up the face and to bring some color back into the skin. So this baby for sure is my ride or die. So next we have the highlight category, and it was really hard to pick just one highlight because I have so many highlights in my collection and they're all so beautiful. Like, who doesn't love highlights? But as I looked at them, I just had to go for the Mary Luminizer highlighter by the Balm, and this was actually, I believe, like one of the first highlights I ever bought. When I first applied it to the tops of my cheekbones, it just looks so beautiful and I fell in love with it. And this is Mary Luminizer by the Balm, and as you guys can see, it's super pigmented. I love this highlight. This highlight is just so beautiful, so pigmented, and a little bit of it goes a long way. I just love the fact that it makes you look super youthful and it makes you look like you're glowing from within, and I just love this highlight. The Ride or Die mascara has to be the Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara. Just love it so much. So here is the wand. It's one of those mascaras that keeps my lashes up, because I usually have other mascaras that whenever I curl my lashes and apply it, my lashes just come straight down, and that frustrates me so much. So this is the only mascara that I can count on that it's gonna keep my lashes up and it's not gonna smudge, it's not gonna budge. So obviously I'm okay with just having this mascara for the rest of my life because it's just perfection. Moving on to lip products, my favorite lipstick has to be the MAC Satin Lip in the shade Twig, and this is actually my third tube that I've ever purchased because it's just that beautiful. So this is how Twig looks. So as you guys can see, it's such a beautiful mauvey pink shade that I just love to throw on for every day, whether or not I'm doing a dramatic look or a more natural look, or I don't really want to apply that much makeup but I still want something on my lips. This is the shade I go for, and I love the MAC lipsticks. I feel like ever since I got on the liquid lipstick trend, I've kind of just stopped wearing it. But if you were to tell me what's your favorite or your ride or die lipstick, I would have to say Twig by MAC because it's pigmented and they're really long lasting too. I don't really have to be reapplying that many times throughout the day, which is just fantastic. And yeah, definitely my ride or die lipstick. Now my ride or die liquid lipstick, I couldn't decide between two shades. The first one was either the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Lolita or the shade Bow and Arrow, but I just had to go for Bow and Arrow because it's such a beautiful shade. And if I went for Lolita, I mean, if I were stranded on an island, I would already have this shade, which is perfect, like I said, for an everyday. So Lolita is kind of similar, it's just a little bit more darker. So I was like, you know, my ride or die liquid lipstick, and the one that I usually tend to use the most either way, is the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Bow and Arrow. And let me swatch it right here next to the MAC one. And it's such a beautiful nude brown. Sometimes it can look a little bit gray, but I just love the color. It's so gorgeous. And the formula of the Kat Von D liquid lipsticks is just bomb. It's super long lasting and it's not super drying on the lips. So this is for sure, without a doubt, my ride or die liquid lipstick. Now, my ride or die lip gloss has to be the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in the shade Undressed. And I did mention this in a lot of videos as well, in some favorites videos and my top 5 lip glosses, which I do have on my channel just in case you guys want to check those out. So this is Undressed right here. Such a beautiful peachy nude lip gloss. I love the ABH lip glosses, especially this shade. It's just perfect to throw on with any look. It's a perfect everyday color, and the formula is not sticky whatsoever. They're long lasting and they smell good. So the ABH lip gloss in Undressed is for sure my ride or die. Ride or die lashes have to be the Koko lashes in the style Queen Bee. And ever since Lustrelux here on YouTube mentioned these, I've just been completely obsessed. These are the lashes that I just love wearing, and I have to have backups because they're just my everything. So these are how Queen Bees look. They're so fluttery, they're so wispy, and they just make my eyes look super big. And what I love about them is that they look good with any type of eye look, no matter what you do. If you have a more natural eye look, these just complete it. And if you have a dramatic look, it just makes it even better. So I do really love these lashes. They're super affordable too. They're like only $6, but sometimes they do sell out and they're hard to find. So every time I have a chance, I literally order so many because they're just my ride or die, my go-tos, my babies, and I love them so much. For eyeshadow palettes, this was actually not that hard. I actually thought that it was going to be so hard to pick just one eyeshadow palette that I'm okay to have for the rest of my life and just to use for the rest of my life. But I mean, it wasn't really hard, and I can honestly say that my ride or die eyeshadow palette definitely has to be the Violet Voss and Laura Lee palettes. You really do get it all in this eyeshadow palette. You have a black, you have pops of color, you have beautiful transition shades, you have beautiful all over the lid shades, and you also get really beautiful crease colors. You also really do have nice highlighting colors to highlight the brow bone or just to kind of set your eyeshadow primer. You just have it on this palette. I love it because the colors are super pigmented, especially these foiled shadows here. So let me swatch some so you guys can see. I really haven't touched any other palettes ever since I got this. The shadows are super pigmented. They're so easy to blend. And the matte shadows are also beautiful. I don't find them to be chalky or hard to blend. I just love this palette because I feel like it's just perfect for summer, for spring, for winter, for fall. And if they told me that I could only take one eyeshadow palette if I were to go to an island or just traveling or whatever, if they told me that they were going to take away all of my palettes and I could only keep one, I would definitely keep this one. It's my baby, so I just can't live without it. Now for setting spray, it obviously had to be my MAC Prep and Prime or my MAC Fix Plus, and this is such an amazing setting spray. I love how it just locks my makeup in place, or if I overdid it a little bit and I'm looking a little bit too cakey, I just like to spray this on and it just fixes everything. I also love the fact that you can spray your brush and then dip it in an eyeshadow so it can get more pigmented, and I just love this setting spray. I really don't need any other setting spray but my MAC Fix Plus. I did decide to add 3 more categories to the tag because these are just products that are my must-haves and I really need to have. The first one is eyebrow products. So my ride or die eyebrow product definitely has to be my Colourpop pomade in the shade Jet Set Black, and this is such an amazing eyebrow product. It's the only one I use, only one I really go to when I'm about to do my eyebrows, and I just love this product because it's so easy to work with. It is super pigmented, and I must say without a doubt that this is definitely my ride or die brow product. Ride or die liquid eyeliner has to be the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in the shade Trooper. And I'm in love with this eyeliner because it's so black and it's so easy to work with too. It's super black, it doesn't smudge, it doesn't budge, and I love the fact that it lasts throughout the whole day. Sometimes my eyes do tend to get watery, which then ends up ruining my eyeliner, or then I have some black smudge down here, which seriously tends to get so annoying. So I find that this one is the only eyeliner that doesn't smudge at all. It just lasts the whole day. My ride or die eyeliner that I like to use on my waterline is the Marc Jacobs Highliner in the shade Black, and I seriously love this eyeliner. As you guys can see, it's an intense black. I also love it because it doesn't smudge and it lasts the whole day on my waterline. This is just by far one of the best eyeliners I've ever tried out. Lastly, I felt like I had to show my ride or die eyeshadow primer, and it's the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is the original one, and I just love this eyeshadow primer because it's one of the few eyeshadow primers that I feel like it doesn't make my eyeshadow crease, and it just makes my eyeshadows blend so nicely and last throughout the whole day. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't have nothing bad to say about this. It's my go-to, and I just love how it does its job at keeping my eyeshadow in place. Okay guys, so that makes it to the end of my ride or die tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got to see what my favorite ride or die products are, because I seriously can't live without any of these products. Like, I literally need them in my life. But yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!